Hi, this is Rob Skoglund here for my oral history project for AP US History, and here I have
Sylvester S. Davis.
Alright, or Satch.
Satch Davis. Sylvester Satch Davis.
Alright, Satch, and you learned this from boot camp? Is that where you
From my training in the service.
Okay, can we step back? When did you first enter in Korea?
Didn't go to Korea. I ended up in Fort Rucker, Alabama, which was just as bad as Korea. Because that was back in the days of slavery. Wasn't quite over. There were still people working in the fields.
Sharecropping.
There were still segregated outfits yet, which I was benefited by my commanding officer sending me into that special force outfit for extra training for what I had to face down south and within my own outfit, because I was the only black in my outfit. So I was in an all-white outfit. And my commanding officer was concerned about how I was going to handle this. So 17, first time away from home. And he said he would send me back home if I couldn't handle that. Well, I'm not going back home. I joined to serve my country. So I said, sir, I will handle it. Well, I had to fight. I had to prove myself. But it all turned out well.
How long were you in Alabama?
2 years in Alabama, Fort Rucker. I spent my 6 months back here in Minnesota, last 6 months. I was a PFC. Things were rough at that time, but that's when I had a commanding officer that was very, very tough, a lieutenant. Once I got into the kitchen, always had coffee for everybody. Or then he stopped the enlisted men from coming and having coffee. He was the only one coming and having coffee. So I removed the coffee pot. And he come in and he raked me over the coals, of course, but he couldn't touch me because that was I'm in the kitchen, I'm controlling the kitchen. He can't control me here, but outside he could. So he said, well, you just wait till you come out in the field. That's where you figured you would have. I said, yes, sir, but I have to bring food out to the field.
So, I've been hearing a lot of you kind of talking a bit bad about this lieutenant, but in the outfit that you were in, what was your connection that you formed with the people that you were close with? The rest of the men. That, like I said, it was difficult. And with me being the only black in the outfit, there were a lot of fellas against me. There again, I had to prove myself. And that was just, as I do today, I don't let nothing bother me. I can relate with anyone. I can get along with anyone. But there was a time when I had to fight. And there was only one fight I had to have, and that was a sergeant. He was the toughest guy in the outfit. And he used to beat me down in hand-to-hand combat. But I finally threw out a challenge to my commanding officer. I want that guy in the ring. Well, of course, my commanding officer was scared because I was only 130 pounds, he was 180 pounds. And he was the toughest guy in the outfit. My commanding officer, he said, you must be crazy. Or you know something I don't know. I said, just set it up, sir. He said, well, you know, again, the regulations, we can't really do this. We can get in trouble. I said, well, sir, I need this. So they set it up. I had a boxing ring. Of course, I was a fighter before I left St. Paul. He didn't know that. Nobody knew that. And so this is something my mom used to teach. Whatever you know, you keep to yourself. You let it be a surprise. Well, it was a surprise to that sergeant, because he couldn't touch me, for one thing. I didn't hit him in the face at all. Didn't have to. I just hit his arms.
but I was so fast he couldn't see what was going on. So every time he turned, I was around on the other side of it. I beat him down into a corner, and he finally grabbed his head. He said, "Enough, enough." And he looked at me and said, "You little son of a gun." See, it's thinking. You have to think. And he finally came and he said, "Mr. Davis, when are you going to try to get some rank?" I said, "Sir, I am going to leave here a PFC. But you and I are not going to get along." I received my corporal stripes back in Minnesota. That's when I finally started cooking for the officers. But he wasn't one of the officers. After 10 years out of the service, guess who calls me? Lieutenant Miller. He wanted me to come back and get it up. He wanted me to take over the kitchen. He changed. So see, people can change. On our field, 250,000 men out on that field.
What were y'all doing here?
Great. Eisenhower was coming.
Eisenhower?
Oh, yes.
Oh, did you meet him or did you just see him?
No, we just saw him. No, I baked a cake for him. Yeah, I baked a cake for him, but I didn't see him.
You did?
No, I just baked a cake.
What kind of cake?
Well, we had these big sheets like this here, and we made the cake. And it just, General Eisenhower, you know, I didn't like him, but which I could have done more with the cake, but I shouldn't think like that. And he claimed so much, you know, like he stopped the war. He didn't stop the war. Now is where segregation came in. I was not allowed to be in pictures.
So what did you have to do instead?
Nothing. Couldn't allow to be in group pictures. They couldn't put a black person in group pictures.
Was this the same everywhere or just in the fort you were in?
This was during I was in. And them days, the white man can go back in a black section of town and walk out with an 11-year-old girl. And I stopped that one time also. See? And that man even wanted to shake my hand for stopping him. But I could not go back in the section of town to get my haircuts anymore because they figured I'd cause a problem for him. And I just looked at him and said, all you have to do is fight back. Instead of standing up there letting them walk off with these little girls. And when I got home, like I said, I wanted to help women and kids of the truth, even more so with what I had seen down there. I had one Catholic church, even when I was just a kid, we were bused out West 7th Street, and a Catholic church put out a, what do you call it?
Petition. A petition.
Yeah, that they didn't want blacks coming to their school out West 7th Street. And I've never forgotten that. We've had Ku Klux Klans come through our neighborhoods in our days, with my father and brothers kept out of our neighborhood. There was 4 brothers and my dad. These were bad part, but then they started getting better. But then we're gonna always have prejudice. When we first moved in here, there were several people went down to the office and complained about me being here, because I'm the only one here.
Terror or the Iraqi war? Either or both.
That's been around for ages. It's been there before our time. It happened back in the days of the Romans. It'll continue. The Bible even says rumors of wars, right? Yeah. So there'll always be wars. There's nothing we can do about it. The human mind is the thing that just controls that. My mother used to tell me that don't worry about anything that you have no control over. So that's been my life. Wars are bad, no good. But there's nothing we can do about it. There's only one thing is the end of the world.
Okay. One last thing. Is there anything that you want to tell the students in my class, or anything that you want them to know, just in general?
Well, mine is stay positive. Get your education. It's important. You won't go anywhere if you don't get your education.
Thank you so much, Satch.
And it's a pleasure.